Afternoon. Are you doing well? Are you great? Where are you watching us? This is Said Reaction. In any language, if you want Somali, that's why you are seeing the flag of Somalia and the flag of Kenya. Then this is my pen. Everything is ready. Today, let's discuss about what are the characteristics of a good speaker. Do you think I'm a good speaker? Now, as we are watching, do you think what have you learned from where I've started my story at the point I am now? Am I a good speaker? Are you a good speaker? Do you count yourself you're a good speaker? You know the answer. If it's yes, you know yourself. If it's no, you know yourself again. I know myself. I'm not that much good speaker, but I can be the teacher at the same time. Do you know that? Okay. How do you know the person is a good speaker? What is the characteristic of someone to have as a good speaker? So, first thing is that the good speaker must, underline capital must, you should what? Having a confidence. Confidence. Be brave. How? You have to believe the message that you are corresponding, that the message that you are giving to the audience, the message that you are giving, or the message that you are addressing, or the topic that you want and come across, or the topic that you want to cover. For example, today you are a teacher, and in your class you have 60 students, and you want to teach them the Samaritan. First of all, as a good speaker or as a good teacher, before you start the topics of the novel or the play, you have to go to the Kaffa beach. After describing, explaining tales to tale, then you have to go to the topics. You see? Because if you don't know what the Kaffa beach is telling the people, then you can't learn what's inside. You have to know what is outside first. What are you saying? What the Kaffa beach is talking about? What the novel is saying? What is the play is talking about? How this play is going on? How many characters this play is carrying? So you have to know that. From there, you count yourself you're a good teacher and a good speaker. So have a confidence and your message should be clear. Your message should be clear. Okay, clarity. Speaking sincerely. Be very clear. Be very clear means that what you are saying, you have to know. You have to know knowledge based on what you are saying. Because you can't tell the people lie. And at the end of the day, you count yourself you're a good speaker. No, don't do that. Have clarification. If someone asks you a question on the topic that you're talking about, then you should be having a knowledge based on it. How do you answer? How do you answer if you don't have the knowledge? How do you answer? How do you respond if the student asks you, or if the people that you are addressing ask you a question? How you are not prepared well? How do you ask them? Are we together? Okay, that's the second characteristic of a good speaker. Then connection. What's the relationship between a good speaker and connection? How does connection help you? What do you think connection do? And what is it? How do you rely your speaker, he or she is a good speaker? Or how do you rely the yani and they have connection? Sorry, we have mixed the language. Hiyo ni kuchanganya ndimi. The connection that we are talking about is that the eye contact. For example, I have an audience of 100 people, then a second or 5 seconds or 10 seconds, I have to look one person. My eye should attack one person. I have to watch that person somehow until the other audience fail to know what is relationship between me and the person that I'm looking at. Okay, are we together? Yes. So the other characteristic that a good speaker have to is a passion. Is a passion. When you have a passionate, your energy can spread like a Wi-Fi, the internet. You should be having the intention, you should be having the passion to correspond or to give out the information that you want to give the audience. Are we together? Are we together? Yes. The other quality or the other characteristic of a good speaker is that preparation. A good speaker have to prepare. You know, the speaker themselves diverse. For example, today, if I'm a speaker and I'm addressing and and the president of Kenya, and if I'm addressing the resident of Kenya, I have to address differently. I have to address differently. When I'm telling or when I'm addressing the president, I have some issue to tell, and I address the president the way it's required. And also, when I'm addressing the resident, then I'm addressing the way it's required, and I have something to tell them. Is it so? The addressing, the way you are addressing the society that you are living with, should differ also. Are we together? Okay, the other thing is that body language. As a good speaker, you don't just stand and explain something. You don't just stand and ask questions. You don't just stand and describe something. You don't just stand and, just finish 2 hours while you are standing. No, don't do that. What you do, you have to do what's called body language. Today, for example, if you are doing poem, if you are doing and something like big, if you're explaining, you have to use like something big like this. You have to use a figurative language, that is a body language. You have to use body language, so don't just stand, you have to move. That is the best characteristic that we can say the person is a good speaker. Means if you stand somewhere, you're not a tree, my friend, my sister and my brother, you're not a tree. You have to stand up, you have to loiter, you see, you have to joke, you have to, yes, like that. So don't just sit. So